And I've been talking to agricultural people because I've been trying to find out what ICBA does. ICBA is the International Centre for Biosaline Agriculture here in Dubai. And they've been taking part at the Islamic Development Bank's AGM in Dushanbe in Tajikistan, because what their whole remit really is to do is to turn marginal land into productive land, both from a soil and a water point of view. And I was talking at the conference in Dushanbe to Dr. Shoaib Ismail, who is a Halophyte Agronomist, which is Halophyte, I think, is somebody who deals with salty areas, and he's at ICBA. And I asked him, first of all, talking about the region, the Central Asia region, how they assess what agricultural help is needed in a region.
That is, the whole concept is we can offer a lot of things, but the thing is what they need. The way we are organizing this meeting specifically is that the partners, especially the national partners as well as the regional partners, they come up with the problems and they tell us what the solutions are. Obviously, we can tailor the solutions for them in terms of water management, crop diversification, seed productions, irrigation management, and that's how we want to do the partnership. There are obviously problems related to water management, crop diversification, land degradation, and these are all integrated issues. And we are trying to see what type of integrated solutions can we offer to them.
We've been hearing presentations this afternoon and situations where people can't rotate their crops because their holding is too small. If you can't keep anything fallow at all because you need everything just to survive. We've seen cost issues cropping up a lot from investment into machinery, but also buying fertilizer, simple things like that. It's a real different situation to that which we see in the richer countries of Europe and even Asia. How is this area going to continue to feed itself as the population grows?
First of all, the current cropping patterns and the crops are not going to last forever. Mainly this area has been growing cotton, wheat, maize, barley and a number of other crops, but the area that was under production has gone significantly lesser now. One of the main issues is also, as you have mentioned, about the fallow soil. Most of the agriculture over here is government-controlled agriculture, which means the government gives them a target to produce every year of one crop, crop 2, crop 3. And as a result, the farmers, especially the small farm holders, they do not get the chance to give a crop rotation or to leave the lands for some times in order to enrich it with the organic matter. I think one of the things that is needed is that the arable areas or areas where the production is still better, they will continue like this, but the marginal area or the degraded area has to be looked from a different perspective of different land use. Maybe the crops can have to be changed, maybe the cropping patterns have to be changed, maybe the entirely production systems has to be changed.
Are you seeing much evidence of governments bringing in the private sector? We hear a lot about public-private partnerships, but we don't see so much evidence of it.
No, not very much. In most of the region, it's all government-controlled. So the private partnership is still not over here, except that some of the key big farmers, they are able to do or they are able to produce things in addition to what the government expects them to produce.
One thing I have seen from the presentations today, that although the countries here are mostly landlocked, they've got a lot of common borders, they're all pretty close together, they all seem to have very different issues.
Yes, the issues are entirely different. I mean, the problem, one of the problem of the region is the transboundary issues. Water flows from the up to the south. And as a result, what happens is the problem changes as it moves from the upstream to the downstream region. The problem is also associated with the drainage water as well. Especially the south region has a lot of drainage because when these drainage systems were built on, the idea was that the water would flow away and there would be sort of a no water logging or high water table issues. But now most of the south has these water table issues, and as a result most of the water flows back into the farms, and this is like more or less a permanent problem unless and until something is really done by the governments and within the region. These problems will continue like this.
What's the solution?
Well, the solution is both on-farm, off-farm and regional level. It depends upon how these countries would work together with one another. But if you are talking about an off-farm, I mean, from my work and the experiences that I have had for the last 10 years, mostly it's an off-farm, on-farm and a community-based solutions that has to be made. There is no big changes that is going to happen. One of the key issues is that, for example, if all the drainage lines are cleared, then there won't be any problems. But that's not practical. And that's a recurring problem. So, I mean, even if there is an investment from the national system or from outside, it's not going to continue forever.
That's quite a problem across here, isn't it, with reeds and rushes blocking up the drainage channels. Is it all really a question of throwing money at it, or is there more to it than that? Is it a lot of it education?
Well, in 20, 30 years back in Russian times, the systems was working one way or other because the system had a lot of mechanization. Now, all those mechanization has gone from the region now. So now they are left with all manual work, and manual work can do for a 50 kilometers length, but you cannot do it 550 or 500 or 5,000. So basically that's the problem.
Were the farmers more productive and were the farmers wealthier in Soviet times?
Yes, they were. Yes, they were. And that is, I mean, once they have pulled up, the investments have gone down, the targets have gone high, and the money that is allocated by the governments is very, very little to do all these maintenance work, just the maintenance work to keep these farms productive.
Dr. Shoaib Ismail, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.